Now I've got you in my space, won't let go of you. Got you shackled in my embrace, I'm latching onto you. Now I've got you in my space, let go of you. Got you shackled in my embrace, won't let go of you, won't let go of you. There we go. I had the main melody figured out the other day. This is a hard song to try and figure out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bear Pit. Today, we thought it would be good to explore something that we've all experienced over the last couple of weeks, which is all the urn changes. But I think everybody's heard a lot of things about the urn. So let's move the discussion a little bit further. And what we want to talk about is what we've learned from the urn changes and what that means from the future of Deadlock's objectives. We know that there's a big update that's going to come probably this summer, right? It only makes sense. It's been over 4 months since the last major update. I think almost 4.5 months at this point. And so the new major update has got to be coming in the next month or two, or max 3 months, I would say. Like, if it's not out in 3 months, I'll be very surprised. And that update, in my opinion, needs to look at objectives, or it needs to look at jungle, or a mix of both. And I think that those kind of come together. And so our Cryptic and I wanted to sit down and...
Fuck, a jungle rework would be sick. A little balancing of the jungle for both sides, too, would be nice. There's that one neutral camp right outside the base to the left. It's a tier 2 camp. And I forget which side, Hidden King or Archmother, they have like a second door into that camp that the other side doesn't have, which is like seemingly super unfair. And there's a couple spots like that where like camps are easier to navigate on one side than the other side. Because one side got more of an art pass than the other did. So there's like more terrain in the way essentially for you.
Discuss what we've learned from the urn, and discuss how that could be applied to future objective ideas, and talk about some ideas we might have, some ideas that come
like the tier 2/3s in the bottom right jungle on both sides are like completely different and have like way better pathing on one side than the other. The tier 2/3s, you can like completely just like see one from the other, and like you can like be standing in one shooting the other one, where the other one on the other side of the map, they're like locked in their own rooms. You have to like takes much more time to get them done
from other games. So that's going to be the general topic, and then we'll obviously have other things like talking about the Curiosity Corner, where we're going to discuss Grey Talon. So, stick around for that if you're interested. How are you doing, our Cryptic?
I'm doing great. Yes. Recording a little bit later in the day than normal, but overall, good. I've had some fun playing Deadlock this week. It's been a good time. A little bit better than maybe the past week or so, but yeah, we just had some. I mean, for all the video game players out there that maybe aren't just Deadlock fans, we had like Summer Games Fest on Friday. We had the Xbox Showcase on Saturday. There's been like the Nintendo Direct and the PlayStation State of Play. So there's been a lot of cool stuff for gaming this week, which I'm super stoked for. Guild Wars 3 got announced. I'm happy, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's literally all I give a shit about. Guild Wars 3 got announced. Like everything else, absolutely dwarfed. But when it comes to Deadlock, things are good right now. I'm happy. I'm enjoying the game.
That's good. Yeah. bit, hit and miss recently.
Everything else, absolutely dwarfed. But when it comes to Deadlock, things are good right now. I'm happy. I'm enjoying the game.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. For me, I mean, Deadlock's been a little bit, hit and miss recently. I've been playing against this one cheater like probably 50% of my games. So that's been rough.
That sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is. Valve games and cheaters, they come hand in hand. I hope Valve will, figure it out eventually. But right now we're in a playtest, so I understand it's not their priority, and they're probably, focusing on gathering data on the cheats so that they can kind of like mass ban them rather than, banning one individual at a time. Since I'm pretty sure they don't do manual bans. But anyway, yeah, the reason we're recording later than usual, for those of you that care, is because I didn't feel too good this morning. And really the only reason I didn't feel too good, I think, is because I've been playing so much 2XKO because I'm in the Sajam Slam. So for those of you that are interested in fighting games, make sure to check that out. I'll be streaming 2XKO basically every day on my stream for the next the next week or two. I believe the event ends next week. Towards the end of the week is like the final day. So yeah, wish me luck. The teams get announced, I believe, tomorrow, or they might already be announced by the time this is released. So it's going to be one or the other, but stay tuned. And the participants have already been announced. So there's a lot of cool people, really like fun and interesting streamers. So it should be a lot of fun. But without further ado, this is a Deadlock podcast, not a 2XKO podcast.
That's all good.
Let's get started with what we've learned. True. Let's talk about what we've learned from the urn, right? Yeah. So I think I'll start with the first thing I think is the most obvious thing, right? And it's the fact that the melee secure mechanic cannot be used for another objective other than mid boss. And maybe it's not even the correct mid boss, like, secure technique, right? Maybe we'll see changes to that in the future. But I believe right now there cannot be more than one major objective that uses the melee secure mechanic. Like for runes and like some minor stuff on the map, I think it's fine. But for major objectives, you cannot use the heavy melee mechanic to secure it, because it just feels like it creates like these weird fights that just don't belong in Deadlock, in my opinion, or make Deadlock less fun. I don't know if you'd agree with that.
I'd agree. It wasn't something that like I had considered. I don't think anyone had really considered until you kept seeing the game loop. From playing Deadlock on that urn patch, where you're just like, okay, every fight is just heavy melee, like kind of just parry baits into more heavy, and there's nothing you can really do to avoid it. Like that was what the game revolved around, and so yeah, that was definitely a lesson learned, and a good one, I think. So as we like look forward into the future of Deadlock and we look at new ideas for objectives, hopefully we kind of incorporate different types of mechanics that are used to try and secure them. So I think, we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but that was definitely one of the first things that we learned. I think my favorite iteration of the urn is probably the current one. Is like weird as it is, I still feel like it is definitely better than the original, like instant secure. I think not giving teams like agency to try and like fight over an objective in a way is kind of weird. And so like being able to just like dunk urn really quick and just like you instantly secure it, and you're like, oh, well, we did our best, I guess. Like they just, they have a better mobility hero than us, in a way, which was,
yeah, Celeste is jumping around.
Yeah, so they just like fly above the sky until like the platform's open, and then just whoop, and then they just, down dash right onto the urn spot, right? So I think that was, I don't know, one of the things that I've liked about the new version. It is kind of forcing these kind of team fights in a way around the urn, where you can kind of go in and out of the zone, and I think that's nice. But yeah, God, there's so many different things. I think the one thing about the urn that I'm not sure I like right now is still the way the comeback mechanic works, and I think this is something that we're kind of learning like from these last iterations, is how much is too much of a comeback mechanic, and at what point is it like overtuned, and what point is it like not enough, right, to incentivize teams to play for it.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think we can talk about the comeback mechanic aspect. As one thing we've learned is like, okay, you obviously cannot give comeback mechanics that are highly like that give like a huge advantage that are outside of the objective, right? So one thing we've learned from the urn, and we learned that, you know, when Melee Creeps did it in the tournament, but also just in general in games, we saw it, is like, if you make it so that the comeback mechanic of an objective essentially like gives you a huge advantage that doesn't just apply to that objective, then you're like, you know, it's not healthy for the game, right? And that was kind of like what the old comeback urn was, like, as in old, I mean like 2 weeks ago, but where you could
So
pick it up,
old.
you would get insane amount of resistances, right? Yeah, so old. And with the insane amount of resistances, well, you could do anything, right? You could go on the map and you could go do mid boss, you could go push walkers, you could do whatever you want, and that gave you a huge advantage outside of the actual objective, which is a problem, right? The comeback mechanic should primarily allow you to get an advantage when it comes to that objective, right? So that it gives you like a high likelihood of getting something, right? Like, in my opinion, the comeback urn should give you a higher likelihood of getting the urn. Now, it is a MOBA, and people should be favored if they have an advantage, right? Like, if you're up 20% net worth over the enemy team, you should win that game 80% of the time, right? Like, there needs to be options for the enemy team to like not give up and keep playing the game. And I know that I don't watch a lot of League of Legends, but I know people have told me very often, like, yeah, like League of Legends at 10 minutes, like a lot of the time you can know who's going to win.
That is true. That
And
is
I think that
absolutely
that's really boring. I think that's really boring. And I think Dota is not quite like that. Like, I think in Dota, there's a lot of like, you know, like random stuff that can happen that can completely, you know, sway the game. And it's never like, and right now, I think that Deadlock is also not like that. I don't think the first 10 minutes fully determine it, but I do think that the comeback mechanic of the current turn is like a little weak. Actually, it's probably significantly weak. So, you know, I think that they just keep trying stuff, and the biggest problem, or the biggest thing with the urn, is like, I think that the game needs to be built around objectives rather than objectives being built around the game. Let me elaborate a little bit on that if you want. So, the urn right now, they just kind of plopped it on a spot on the map, right? But that spot on the map existed before, right? They just plopped it. They said, hey, you deposit it here, which is on top of the bridge. No geometry changes, no nothing, no changes to the area. And they're like, hey, this is now a King of the Hill area, by the way. And they just drop a circle there, right? And that's obviously completely reasonable given given what they're doing, which is testing new objectives.
Yeah.
However, I think the game would be like, long term, you got to start planning for these objectives rather than just dropping them on the map. You got to build the area with like, hey, there's going to be a King of the Hill objective here, right? Let's build the area to be interesting and be like with a King of the Hill objective in mind, with the comeback mechanic, right? Like, okay, so what do we want to do? Do we want like another area to unlock if there's a comeback mechanic? Do we want something different? So I think right now they're kind of limited in what they want to, what they can do, because, you know, they obviously, most of the developer resources are going to be spent on working on the next major update, which is making it so we're probably missing a lot. Like, I feel like the urn has missed a lot of like what people would call the Valve sauce, meaning like it doesn't really feel that interesting still. Like, it feels more interesting than the previous urn, yes, but not by that much. And I think that they have like a huge potential to make objectives that are super interesting. And, you know, we'll get into that later into the podcast.
That's a you know, a really good point. I think I know a couple episodes back when I was talking about like one of the things that I would like to see in terms of the urn rework was that, you know, they create a literal new zone on the map for where you either where mid boss goes or for where the urn goes. And that is where like the deposit fights happen, right? Because it does make it a little bit weird to just kind of drop it in the side lane. It's better than it was in the mid area, which isn't, you know, one of the other things, you know, specifically is we can't have one area of the map loaded with too many objectives, right? It needs to be spread out.
Correct.
It needs to create kind of some variety and some push and pull, because if everything is centered in one area, then it takes a lot of the importance away from, you know, the other sides of the map, the other areas of the map, right? Everyone's going to be playing around where these singular objectives are. So yeah, I like the idea, like you said, of kind of designing the map with these objectives in mind and designing these areas with these objectives in mind. And I think, you know, it is difficult to do in the playtest, right? Because you have to first dial in this mechanic of the urn. Like, is it in a good spot? Do we feel like this is the best version of the urn for contesting and delivering and all these things? And it's like, if that's where they feel like, okay, we finally hit this sweet spot, now we have to design the map around it, right? You have to design where you want it to be. And so that's a whole separate step, which, you know, hopefully we get there. That'd be very cool.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like that idea. I think it can get there. Whether or not that'll be like in the next major update, who knows? But they still probably have some more ideas on things that they want to test with the urn.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope that the next major update like gives us. I think what you said about not concentrating objectives in one area of the map is like more true than most people realize. I mean, I think everybody kind of like
I
realized
hate that you
it
can't
when they
edit
put the urn
tweets.
in
Fuck
mid,
it.
but except Valve initially. I mean, they wanted to try it. They wanted to gather the data. Sure, it was pretty miserable to play for me at least, but I mean, it was fun for maybe a day. But at the end of the day, one thing that is lacking in Deadlock a lot of the time, and I think it's a lot better with this urn, is like counterplay, right? You need things to be able to like trade that aren't necessarily like equal trades, but that give you opportunities that's like, hey, if you can't contest this objective, here's something that you can look to do, right? And in a game like Dota, for example, there's so much map that there's kind of almost always, like, unless you're super, super far behind, there's kind of almost always like an area of the map that you have control over, unless you're like stuck in your base, right? And so you can almost always like, hey, we're going to split push this a little bit. We're going to, go for this Tormentor. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Yeah, the enemy team's going Roshan. You can, take control of the opposite side of the map because it's not in the middle. But in Deadlock, the primary objective is extremely centered, which makes like counterplay to mid boss like quite difficult because people can rotate very quickly, right? And the urn is also more powerful than walkers past the first urn or two. Like right now, they nerfed the urn a little bit. You can trade the first urn for a walker, and that can be like roughly like an even trade-ish, right?
Totally reasonable, yeah.
But yeah, after the first or let's say second urn max, but already at the second urn, trading the walker for the urn is like a pretty significantly losing trade in most situations, unless you don't have like a single flex slot. And then past that, it's basically like the urn matters way more than the walkers. But obviously, at that point, it's also like, well, mid boss matters way more than either, right? So you have to be careful because if you go for this fight and you lose it, then you lose mid boss too. So I don't know, that there needs to be more macro decision making in Deadlock right now. I think the macro in Deadlock is lacking in options a lot of the time, is what it feels like for me. Maybe other high level players would disagree, but I feel like a lot of the time it's pretty like, hey, you kind of have to do this, and if you don't do this, well, hey, tough luck for you,
Yeah, I mean, Deadlock has a ton of micro game decisions, right? And I think that's where a lot of the people coming from the shooter backgrounds of Overwatch, and other like FPS type games, like they love that aspect, right? Like that's where this game does really well. And I think it is a shooter first, MOBA second, I think a lot of the times, but it is really well, it's very closely balanced is the thing that's not that I think makes Deadlock really unique. I think other games in the past that have tried this format have failed. And some of it was the studios, not necessarily the game itself. Some of them are just studios just pulling the plug on a perfectly good game, but that's fine. When it comes to Deadlock, I think the balance is actually exceptionally good. But I do agree that it does feel like the macro decisions are limited in terms of what you can accomplish with them. And so this is where I think it's fun to pull influence from some of the other games that are maybe more MOBA oriented. And like when we get into the discussion of like what can some of the future objectives look like, for all of our Heroes of the Storm fans out there, if you've ever played HOTS, this is where I feel like there is the most potential to pull like ideas from, because that game, I think better than almost any of them, came up with really unique and really good ways of like influencing the map with different types of objectives split around it. So that's what I would like to see. But in terms of right now, I'm not sure if there's like a current improvement that can be done specifically to earn like at this very second, outside of like you said, building an area for it specifically. Or finding a way to make the comeback mechanic not feel so cheesy in a way.
I think you just leave Earn as is right now, and you just focus on the future. And I think that's what I want to talk about next, which is the future. So you mentioned like, because I mean, to finish on the Earn point, like I don't think it's worth like dedicating because at the end of the day, right now you're always choosing between dedicating like people to balancing right now or balancing the future or working on ideas. I find it pretty hard to imagine that they have different teams working on both, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm assuming they're kind of just sharing the same resources.
This guy's
and,
clearly
you
just
know,
such an
people that are
incel.
balancing the current game are also like helping, you know, talk about future ideas and balance those and like design those, etc. So, you know, I think you're always making like some sort of compromise right now, and I don't really think that ᴑᴜ is in like such a bad spot that it's like, okay, we really need to dedicate a lot of resources to it right now. I think you just focus on like bigger picture. Okay, what's going to be the objectives in the future, right? How are they going to work? All of that stuff. So, talking about the future, you mentioned Heroes of the Storm has great ideas. Let's talk about some ideas that we have for objectives. So I'll start with mine, because I've got an idea, which is like somewhat similar to something that's been like quote unquote like rumored or leaked. And I think it's a cool idea, which is the idea of like, and I kind of got the idea when we got Street Brawl, right? Which is the idea of like something that can give you either temporary items or like upgrade one of your items temporarily as well, right? Like give you some sort of buff, like, hey, you deal with this little objective, right? It unlocks like a special shop that you can, you know, either pick from, or it also like could just like enhance some items, or it could give you access to like items that, you know, you otherwise wouldn't have, and that you can get for like, I don't know, a limited duration, kind of like 2 minutes, right? Hey, you get this item for 2 minutes, and then it allows you to maybe look for a play because you've got like I don't know, you've got like an upgraded warp stone that is like goes twice as far or something. Probably not something that ridiculous, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's
that'd be my first idea.
So is like in terms of how this objective would work,
God damn.
Like, it can kind of just be
I don't really care about
any form of objective. You think like mini boss
Arc that much. I don't even care about Arc that much. I'm like a super big defender of it. I just find it fucking hilarious when people want to fucking shit on the game so much and hate watch the shit out of its player count. It's so pathetic.
Or just a like, you know, point of interest that opens up during certain sections of the game, you think? Or how, like what's kind of the idea?
Yeah, so what I would do is like I think that it would be okay. Well, I think in general the map needs to be bigger. So I think that this you'll see this come up in all of my suggestions. So I think that I would do kind of like what Dota did in one of their major updates, which is make the map bigger on the outer, right? Like kind of like add an outer ring to the map. So I would add like a whole outer ring to the map that goes past, like, you know how there's tier 3 camps on the side of the map? I would add a whole outer ring that goes past that. And I think that also help like give like teams some breathing space, because it'll give you space that's not like, you know, as easy to punish. And it'll also make like, I think a problem in Deadlock is like rotations are insanely fast, and they keep like, okay, they remove jump pads, they nerf movement a little bit, they do this, they do that, right? They nerf Majestic Leap. And I think like if you make the map bigger, I think they're afraid of nerfing movement because they don't want, like, people love movement in this game, myself included, and they don't want it to feel bad. So if you don't want movement to feel bad, but you want to essentially nerf rotation speed, why don't you just make the map bigger, right? Movement will feel the same. It's just that traversing the map will take longer, but the feel of movement will be kind of the same, in my opinion. So that's, you know, basically I would have that objective on an outer ring of the map, and I would have it be probably some sort of jungle camp, or like you could also just do like a type of secret shop idea, right? Where it's like, hey, you go to the secret shop, you can buy this item, and it's like a limit of like 1 per team or something. And you have to like make it to that area or something.
Okay, I like that. So one of so I think one of the most basic new objectives, I think, for me that I would really like to see is actually utilizing the side lane ancient camps, the hard camps, the tier 3s, whatever you want to call them. I think right now they are just in like this weird spot of they're really dangerous to farm, so they don't really get farmed that often, and like they're worth a lot of money, but you know, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go farm somewhere safer. But I think turning those specific camps into a unique variant, which I mean, we're hoping there's going to be a whole jungle rework, but this is something I want to add it on top of that, which I want these specific side camps to be a kind of like a recruitment style camp, similar to what you would see in like Heroes of the Storm, where you would kill a specific jungle camp, you capture it, and then
it
they
pushes the lane for you
and start pushing the lane as your own minions.
That'd be perfect for side lanes. That'd be sick for side lanes. Be a cool way to shove the lane without having to actually like risk yourself. It's already a risky enough camp to take, like he says. Yeah, that's smart.
It was.
I like that.
It's a really cool way to actually.
I like that you reference Heroes of the Storm too, to show that all these fucking Dota pros and everything still touched Heroes of the Storm because it's such a fun game.
Really kind of forced side lane objectives as well. Like if we want to talk about, you know, opening up the map, this is the farthest to the sides as you can go, and they don't have to be like super overpowered by any means, but maybe it adds like an additional siege minion, maybe it adds like super buffed creeps or something, like just a way to make those camps important. Or maybe they are actually just going to be the jungle creeps, you know, if we get the jungle rework and those jungle creeps now march down the lane alongside yours. So for those of you coming from, like, say, Overwatch or anything, it's basically like your escort mission, you know, like you're just escorting these creeps now to the walker and being like, okay, we have super strong creep wave here. Let's utilize this and try to like siege with it. And you could set this up on timers, of course, so it's like not always there, but I don't know. I think that's, to me, I think one of the probably easier ones to implement without
it would have to spawn less for sure,
and I think it would add a fun little kind of tug of war option to the side lanes.
Yeah, I like that. I think that
spawn it later and make it a little easier to cap on its first tank. Or no, it'd have to be a team cap actually. Yeah.
Right now, like,
you're not farming
a pretty significant issue with the game.
Souls
like,
as much anywhere as pushing the lane.
Especially at lower levels, right? When I coach people, like I noticed that they really struggle to like just go for it, right? Just go for the walker, just do that, do this. So I think giving them something that would encourage them.
He hasn't played against me.
Like, hey, you've got this little, you know, you've got these jungle creeps.
I commit so hard to that walker so often.
Giving you like an aura, right? Or it's like this will temporarily disable the walker, allowing you to push this, right? Like, let's say you've got kind of like in League, right? Isn't there? I'm not super familiar with League, but there's like a little, there's like a little Rift Herald that just like rushes at the tower and explodes, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how that works.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know too much about
like that, but it could disable the walker, maybe. Yeah, someone in the comments probably knows. But what if you got something like that, but it's like it just disables the walker?
Yeah.
So it's like it disables the walker for like 5-10 seconds, and it allows you to, hey, if the enemy team has this, well, you got to be careful. You got to know that your walker is useless. I know people complain about, you know, walkers being useless all the time, so maybe people wouldn't like this. But at least this time, you wouldn't feel like. I think the reason people complain about walkers being useless is just because they feel like they should protect them. But if you know the enemy is coming with that objective and you know it's going to disable your walker, I think people wouldn't like mind as much, I guess, is my hope. But, you know, I do really like the idea of like giving the jungle more meaning. I think right now the jungle, I mean, everybody kind of knows the jungle is like 100% placeholder, right? And the jungle is like by far like the most like unfinished, like uninteractive, like boring part of the game. And, you know, they clearly don't want to make it too strong because, like, I mean, realistically, it's just, you know, it's just not really that fun to interact with, right? So if you make it really strong, you make the game kind of boring because, like, whenever the heroes that jungle are strong, the game is just, I don't know, like, you know, I mean, Seven's really strong right now, and he kind of has been strong for a while, and I don't think people, it's not the worst thing ever, but when we're in a meta where, like, jungling is, like, super prevalent, I think it just makes the game, like, less fun for everyone overall. But regardless, I think that's largely because
some people like jungling, man.
And two, jungling is, like, you know, half-baked right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I do think that, like, full rework of the jungle is necessary. You know, we need unique camps, just like in Dota, that have unique mechanics. Maybe the jungle should move, right? Like, maybe it shouldn't stand still to kind of like make you have to aim a little bit more. Maybe it should do all these other things. But enlisting the jungle to help you push objectives, I think, is a really cool idea that has merit for sure. And we don't have siege troopers in this game, right? We don't have catapults that allow you to like push buildings easier. Like in Dota, for those of you that don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Cryptic, because you've been following more, but, you know, I don't know if they've changed it, but at least back in the day, it was every like 5 minutes you'd get like a siege trooper wave.
The catapult.
And essentially, the catapult wave. Essentially, what that would do is, you know, you would have catapults they would be significantly tankier than your regular, you know, your regular creeps, and they would do significantly more damage to objectives as well. And they would be like, not invulnerable, but, you know, magic damage wouldn't really do like anything to them. I forget if they were invulnerable actually.
They have a specific armor type referred to as fortified, which means they take reduced damage from all sources that isn't siege damage, which is the type of damage that buildings do. So they die really quickly to buildings if they're the only thing under the building, but they take reduced damage elsewhere, but they have increased damage to buildings. So they're kind of like, you want to protect them. Like, you want to play around your catapult timing. It's still something very much ingrained into the game. They have introduced like this banner mechanic, which literally gives your creeps immunity near the banner, so that you have to kill the banner. And a lot of times they just plant it behind the catapult waves and let the catapults just go to town on towers. So I think, you know, there's definitely a discussion to be made, like we could introduce siege creeps, but maybe that's where like the jungle rework comes in, right? Like if they decide to do what we were just talking about, like those are our siege creeps and they become a much more important type of objective that you need to secure. I was actually thinking back to your idea of like this secret shop with like you could actually tie this into
exclusive items, you know.
Yeah, these exclusive items. You could tie this into the sinners, actually. Like, you know, killing the sinners like grants you tokens essentially, and these tokens are a currency that you can like bank up to cash in at this like, you know, secret objective shop that like your team controls at some point. And then it's like if you have the tokens, you can like cash it in for these enhanced items in a way. That might be too convoluted, but it's like it's already part of the game loop. So
what if you only get the tokens if you get the heavy melee on the last hit, right? Like otherwise it doesn't give you tokens, for example.
Yeah.
Something like that, or it gives you more tokens, or you know, I think that there's stuff. I mean, I think that we talked a lot about the urn, right? But we can also talk about the sinners, because I think that the sinners are a perfect example of a small little mini game that has made the game like objectively
so much
more
better.
fun and better. Like, I think everybody likes sinners. They give you stuff to fight over. They give you stuff to push your advantage. They give you stuff to try to come back into the game. It's like, okay, we had a bad start, but we got a kill. Now we can steal their sinners, and we can kind of like, you know, make a massive like soul swing pretty quickly.
I just thought of a crazy sci-fi concept for like a dystopian, like futuristic sci-fi story where like someone has weaponized clouds. You have like the cloud war. Like literally for like a few years, humanity fights each other using like intense like fucking cloud technology, like sending like clouds at each other. They like fucking pour acid rain on each other and shit. It's like really like fucking like scary, like lightning storms, but then they're like really really powerful, and they're like sending down like missiles essentially. And then after a few years, so that's not the point of it. The point that would be like in the prelog. The point of it is that some country develops a way to completely like eradicate clouds, and that technology gets passed around, and eventually like humanity lives in a cloudless world where like the water cycle is completely broken, and we've found our own ways to like filter water, but like clouds don't exist. And there'll be parts of the world that are just completely dry and like fucking shit. I don't know, it would be a cool thing. It could be a cool story. Probably just like a one-off story. But like, you know, the climactic ending is like the characters finally seeing clouds for the first time in their lives because they're born into a world without clouds for like 100 years or something. Seems more like this is like a Doctor Who episode now that I'm realizing.
You have the mechanic of like getting the permanent buff.
This isn't good enough for a full story, but this is a good little Doctor Who episode concept. I gotta write this out. Email the fucking producers of Doctor Who.
I think there's a lot of stuff that's been done well with sinners, and I think pretty much everyone that plays the game at a high level would agree that sinners are pretty good for the game. At first, I think people were a little worried because people were like, "Oh my god, these are OP, right?" Because they give so much souls, and they also like, you know, they get permanent buffs. And, you know, in a way, they are OP compared to every other jungle thing, which is what makes them kind of good because, you know, you really want to play around them, right? But there is also counterplay because there's so many sinners on the map that, like, if your sinners are getting stolen in one area, well, you can maybe go on the opposite side of the map and steal their sinners. And it reminds me a little bit of, like, the Dota dynamic where, like, hey, they've invaded your jungle, you invade theirs, kind of an exchange, right? And, like, the sides kind of flip. I feel like that happens with sinners, and I think that's, like, you know, that's cool.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that would be, I think in terms of objectives, it's kind of like people forget that sinners are an objective. I think a lot of people just look at it like, oh, it's just the jungle. And it's like, nah, to me, it really is like that 8-minute mark comes out and you're bolting. You're trying to make a play before vault spawn and, you know, then play around stealing the sinners if you can. So I would not mind if they found a way to incorporate sinners into additional aspects of the games. Like, I don't know what that would be like, but I do think that it has been such a success. So if they can find a way to loop it into another mechanic or make them not necessarily like more valuable because they are so valuable, but Yeah, like with your potential enhanced item idea, you know,
literally just like adding 2 more center spots at this point is a good idea because like they're so well received. They're such a good game mechanic item. Yeah, like I'm trying to think like where would be a good spot too. You're like behind the church and the firehouse kind of thing.
I think that would be kind of cool. I think that'd be neat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff there for sure. So
nah, that makes that lane too strong.
Objective idea, which I think is not unique.
Okay.
And you know has been kind of like done, which is simply the idea of,
I think back somewhere near like the tier 3 camp on the bottom right side of each side's map.
Of
be a good spot for
getting an
a
objective
third
that gives you
sinners.
vision. Now, I
Or
don't think
6th
wards
sinners.
should be in
I guess it would be a
Deadlock.
7th.
Deadlock needs
This is a
wards.
double.
I think it's completely fine. It doesn't have wards, but
It would be a 6th center
it
location.
could be cool to have an objective, kind of like an outpost that you capture, and it gives you something, and it could give you vision. It could give you other things. I think giving you vision of one part of the map, it's like, hey, you capture the outpost in the enemy jungle. It gives you limited vision around that area, so you know if someone is farming there, etc. You know, it gives you very limited information, but it's kind of there. I think that'd be cool. So I'd be down to see that, and that's like pretty simple, and you would just capture it by.
It's like a version of wards that wouldn't, because you can't have wards in this game, but it'd be a cool version of wards.
You know, being in the area.
Should I say we can't have wards because I feel like they could be so easily shot? But if wards had to be heavy melee to be destroyed, wards could be pretty cool. They have to be only placed on the ground. Placing them on walls would be cool because some characters can destroy them easily, but a lot of characters have to struggle with getting up there to destroy them. So it's like, yeah, wards on the floor would be neat. They can only be destroyed by heavy melee.
Like,
what would their range be though? That'd be that's a tough. That works so much better in a game like Dota.
You'd have to like stand in the radius for X amount of seconds, or like for that objective, it could be okay to heavy melee it, right? It's like for those more minor objectives, I think it's okay. It's just the objective that cause like huge team fights that are major, like the urn. I don't think you can use the melee mechanic, but I think for objectives that are more like likely to be small numbers, like for example the buffs, you're not usually going to have a 6v6 of the buff, although you might. But you know, I think it's okay to have the heavy melee mechanic. I don't really think people complain about that too much, but for the big ones, that's where I'm like, you know, not so sure.
Yeah, the urn was too much. Like there's too much on the line with urn to have it be the melee mechanic. But I agree. I think if you
I love that for a few days there was Wraith, everybody all grouped up on each other, fucking parrying and melee, and I'm just like throwing cards at the whole fucking group. It was so good.
Or like mini watchers, which are like, you know, capturable ward spots, you know, essentially that are like I said, not really.
Yeah.
For a few days, their urn fights were the fucking shit as a Wraith player.
They're not like purchasable and you plant them, but they're like preset destinations.
Honestly, I wish I'd played more in that few days, that week or whatever.
Temporarily, I like the idea. I think it's a slippery slope when it comes to vision. Because like you mentioned earlier, rotating is so quick and easy in Deadlock that if you're able to get a glimpse of a hero in the jungle, suddenly you could send 4 or 5 heroes to kill them within 5 seconds sometimes. Like I think that is where like vision can be a little bit of a slippery slope. But I do think I wouldn't mind there being a couple preset locations where you can get some sort of vision information.
Yeah, because it'd be like, I mean, if they capture it, right, you would know that that's where they have vision.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you walked into that area and you get ran at, well, that's kind of your fault, you know, because you know they have vision there. So at the end of the day, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, like, it would be very like obvious.
Yeah.
Right. Like in the sense, like, hey, just don't go here, and you'll be okay.
I think it has like to have the timer on it too. It can't just be held indefinitely. I think you should like heavy melee it, and you get control. You get vision for like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, something like that. Maybe more, maybe less. And then it just turns itself off. It can't just like stay. There was like Heroes of the Storm neutral vision camps, and they were like indefinite. They would just stay yours after you capture them, or until the other people capture them. I think in Deadlock you'd need them to turn themselves off after a bit. Less than 30 seconds sounds pointless. It would probably be like 45 seconds or so, or a minute even. A minute's fair, I think.
Okay, and like, hey, you've lost control of this area of the map, so if you want to go here, you guys have to regain control of this objective, which will just take a couple seconds of channeling, and you know, it just gives a little info. I think it could be a neat little thing, and you could theme it more like New York style, where it could be like I don't really know how you would theme it, but I'm sure that Valve can cook as far as like the occult theme and all that stuff, where it's like,
Ooh, I got it.
I don't know, you like go to like the tarot card reader, and you get control of that area. You see the future now.
Just make it some spooky old radio tower. Like that would be, you know, I like, because you know, it's like we're on radio.
Yeah. There's something like that. They both have good ideas. One's thinking more mystic, one's thinking more classic. That's cool.
You know, just make it a weird, like a culty spirit radio tower that you have to capture, and then it, you know, that's
blending the two ideas. Yeah, like a radio tower that has like fucking like souls around it or something.
The way it gives you info. Maybe it doesn't give you vision, but it will like give you. This is like an actual cool. This is an interesting way to kind of dumb down the vision mechanic. So rather than it provide you vision and show you exactly who's on the map, it will just tell you when people are nearby. So it will like it'll basically like highlight its area in red and be like, yo, there is an enemy hero in this area, kind of like a scan mechanic, but without telling you exactly. Yeah, without telling you who it is. I think that would be an interesting. Dota, yeah, I mean. StarCraft, Dota, everyone has these. I think a lot of different games have the mechanic, but that would be a way to make it maybe like you could fiddle with both and see if it's not like super. If having direct vision and knowing who is there, it would be too overpowered.
Good conversation. I hope the devs are listening to this.
A hero here, and we see like 3 on the other side of the map. Like we can go gank now or something, you know.
Yeah, I like that. The radio idea is cool. Yeah, I think that's definitely cool. I think another. Okay, I think we can move on to kind of my last idea.
Okay,
which is I think that so I like the buffs on bridges, right? I think they're
great. A whole chapter about great talent.
The timing of them and all that stuff we can talk about.
Because the owl.
First of all, with the buffs, I think they should be much more frequent than they are right now. The bridge buffs. I don't really think bridge buffs should be every 5 minutes. I think they should be like every 2 or 3 minutes, or like, you know, they should be much more frequent. That's my idea, and maybe make them last slightly less long. But regardless of that, I think that it'd be cool if you like, you know, you had more opportunities to like do stuff. But ignoring that, so I think that mid boss is great, but I do think that you need some sort of like objective to try to trade it. So like, look, this idea is not original, but I'd like something that's essentially a similar concept to the Tormentor, right? Meaning you've got this neutral objective, and I would put it in a fairly safe location. So like I said, add an outer circle to the entire map, because it's kind of like what I want to do, make the entire map bigger, and make it close to your right side walker, right? Kind of like on the outer side, but close to your right side walker. So it's on your side of the map, very close. So it's like a relatively safe objective, and, you know, it's mirrored, so both sides have one. And when you kill it, what it would do in this situation is, I think there's a couple options that you could go for. You could even go for like mixed rewards, right? Where you like choose between reward types. And I'm kind of excited because, you know, you've got like the Risk of Rain team working on this, right? Which is very like roguelite.
Yep.
And we've had like Street Brawl and stuff. So why not explore some of these settings in a MOBA, right? Like, why not give you, you know, things where you can choose? So one of the options that you could have, for example, would be, okay, you're the team that's far behind, but if you do this objective, it'll allow you to unlock a flex slot instead of one of the walkers giving you a flex slot, right? Making it so you're not like, because you feel like you're stuck in your base, and hey, let's give you a little something. You do this objective, you get a flex slot. Just another way of getting the flex slot, for example, right? Or what if it's like, okay, well, this is going to give you a temporary buff that gives you, I don't know, like, you know, it can give you anything. It can give you HP, it can give you bullet resist, spirit resist, it can give you like a specific type of resist. Even I have no idea truly. I'm just kind of spitballing, right? But basically something that gives you an advantage. In Dota, the way that they do it is they give you an item. It gives Ag Shard to like one of the poorest people, right? Does it still do that?
It's one of the 2 poorest people. Yeah, so it will give you an Aghanim Shard it will random between the 2 poorest people on your team that do not already have an Aghanim Shard.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I do think that, you know, there's a lot of options in Deadlock that you can do that. You can give a flex slot. You could give
AP.
You know, you give AP.
Like, that would be crazy.
You give AP.
Like, what if that was like one of the first and only sources we have of gaining AP? You know, not tied to experience, because previously that was what the old urn did, right? Like you would want to give it to like the specific person when they dunk it, they would get an AP bonus. And that was
Pretty
how
sure walkers used to give AP as well.
Yeah, there was a couple iterations of it, but now that none of that
Damn,
exists,
Valve's such
to
a
my
fucking
knowledge,
sick
right? Like, there
company.
is no like
Goddamn.
bonus AP. It's just tied to levels, so or to your soul count. So yeah, that'd be an interesting idea. Like you could provide AP back that way.
Yeah, AP used to be this like intangible like thing where you'd like open the scoreboard and you'd see, okay, there's a soul difference, but look at the AP difference too, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays you don't really look at that at all because it's like it's just the soul difference that matters. So I do think it's an underexplored mechanic that could be it could be interesting to explore more and could be fun and could like, hey, okay, like yeah, we're down a shit ton of souls, but you know we're actually kind of like even on AP, and so like our power might not be that far behind when it comes to like abilities purely, but when it comes to like boons and health and weapon damage and all that stuff, we are behind. That could be interesting for sure.
Yeah. I know I know that there's like a couple other like major mechanics from like Heroes of the Storm that I've seen people talk about and mention, like, oh, what if they added this and that?
Yeah.
There is one that is kind of crazy. I don't think it would be. I don't want it to be implemented in this. They added this mechanics from like Heroes of the Storm that I've seen people talk about and mention, like, oh, what if they added this and that?
Yeah.
There is one that is kind of crazy. I don't think it would be. I don't want it to be implemented in this extreme because I think it's too good and it would be like the whole game loop would then just suddenly be this one objective. But essentially there is one where you can essentially hold 2 points on the map on opposite sides, and then if you hold both points you can basically convert one of your players into this giant dragon, and like they basically pilot the mech, right? Like he becomes.
It was 2 of your players turned into it. I'm pretty sure. No. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. I think that was a different map where one person controls movement, one person controls the thing. Yeah, the dragon was sick. I remember this. This is so fun. It's so fun becoming the dragon.
You know, Giga Chad and just runs over the map basically. So I think
Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. You basically just become Godzilla. Yeah, I think there's a version of that could be interesting, where like one of your players basically like pilots a mech of some kind that's like slightly stronger. If you manage to like accomplish some sort of like objectives around the map. I don't know exactly what that would look like, but I've seen it. I'm like, that would be interesting.
The only reason that worked in Heroes of the Storm is because each map had its own unique objective that the whole map is kind of balanced around. You'd need multiple maps in Deadlock for that to work.
Interesting. I think it's one of the more fun kind of macro based, like it requires team coordination to pull off because you have to hold like the 2 points on opposite sides of the map. So I don't know if it needs to
insane map.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it can be
it does feel like a hard snowball objective though. Like
that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, I think there's a version of that somewhere in there that could be interesting, involving like maybe the new jungle camps of some kind.
But at the same time, it does open up things because it's like, okay, you know, it's on both opposite sides of the map, right? We're talking about we need counterplay to mid boss. Well, mid boss is in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you've got like 2 things on the side of the map, like right now, if you trade,
What would be cooler to bring in from Heroes of the Storm is the underground caverns that have like the fucking bunch of creatures in there that you got to kill, and whoever kills the most gets like a buff for their team. That'd be cool, but only allow like a certain number of heroes from each team to go into that underground space when it opens up.
Mid boss for 2 walkers. Let's say you're the losing team, you're losing mid boss, you get 2 walkers. A lot of the time, you're not even really like, that's not even really a winning trade, which is crazy to say, because you got so much map presence and so much pressure, and most of the time you can't even trade it for 2 walkers. But even in best case scenario, when you can, it doesn't feel that good. So if you could trade it for a giant mecha dragon, you know, maybe that'd feel better.
At least one of your people on your team is having fun, or you know, while the rest of you are suffering.
If you trade for the blue eyes white dragon?
Yeah.
You get the blue eyes white dragon, you summon the three-headed blue eyes white dragon, and you just like Exodia. You insta win.
That's what we need is the Exodia mechanic. Perfect.
We need the Exodia mechanic. Like you capture 5 points on the map, okay? No, 6 points. You need
it has to be a 6
player
it has
on
to be
each
6.
point.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to have 1 player on each point. If you have all 6 players and they have control of all 6 points, the game just ends instantly. And there's like a cool like anime like scene that plays out where the Lash just comes in and like destroys the patron like 1v1 in a boxing match.
Yeah, that would be.
I've thought about this a lot clearly.
Yeah, that'd be good. I love that idea. Fantastic. They should do that. That should be top of the list.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, my DMs are open if you want to hire me.
I mean, we could. There's a lot of other stuff that we kind of could theory craft and come back to. For those of you who are, you know, still listening, please drop your ideas in terms of what you would like to see, potential future mechanics, things that have inspired you in other games that, you know, could be interesting in Deadlock as well. Yeah, let us know in the comments, and, you know, we'll read through them, and maybe we'll talk about them in a future episode. But I do want to move on to our curiosity corner, because there is a lot to talk about with റᴛ. That he's the hero we're going to talk about today, and boy oh boy, റᴛ is he's a hero right now. Okay. Yep. I'm going to start off by saying that this hero got some of the most overloaded buffs, like back to back to back to back, to where he just got to the point where he's too good to ignore. And that's typically, that happens a lot, right? Sometimes the meta like really doesn't favor certain types of heroes, and then after enough buffs, we're like, okay, it's getting a little this hero's too strong, and for a lot of different aspects. A little out of hand. So that's kind of where we are now with റᴛ. I'm going to let you kind of give your initial thoughts on this hero right now.
Oh, റᴛ. That's a great question. So റᴛ, I feel like, is a hero. Okay, there's a few things about റᴛ. So we talked about റᴛ, I think like a month back or a month and a half back.
He was our yeah, we talked to him a couple times.
We've talked about him a few times because, I don't know, he's one of the heroes that just feels a little... So I think we've talked about him at least twice on this podcast already in the Curiosity Corner, and we only have, what, like 23, 24 episodes?
This is episode 25, yeah.
Yeah, 25, yeah. So that's a pretty high rate of talking about റᴛ. So he's a problematic hero in general. And in the past, we've basically, the main takeaways we've said are, when he's good, he just one-shots you across the map, and it just feels like really bad to play against, right? And when he's bad, he just feels like this clunky old, you know, grandmother just like trying to survive in a world of, you know, occult freaks that all move at the speed of light. So that's kind of like what റᴛ has felt like. And now they've, you know, they kept buffing him. They were like, okay, we're going to give him 10 spirit per bird stack, right? Like 10 spirit per bird stack is like, that's a lot of spirit, because, and you know, you get it pretty quickly. Like most റᴛ games that I play, like it's pretty rare that I have under 50 spirit at the end of the game. Like that's pretty rare. Like I need to have a really bad game to have less than 50. So you're getting essentially a free boundless spirit every game that gets multiplied by boundless spirit. And that's only one part of it. You know, before then it was like, okay, റᴛ is still counterable because Rain of Arrows is like just kind of not an ability. It just kind of sucks. You're super immobile. You don't really do a lot of damage. I mean, you do damage, but you're like super immobile. But now they make റᴛ like extremely mobile with Rain of Arrows, where it's just like, first of all, he moves really quickly, like side to side in Rain of Arrows, so it's actually hard to like win the aim duel against him. Right? Like, shooting him is very difficult, and he also outputs like a ton of damage because he gets the access to damage earlier in lane than before. And on top of that, you know, they made it so his dashes go even further.
Makes you want to try out
റᴛ. So he can like just dash. He has infinite dashes during Rain of Arrows, meaning he doesn't have infinite stamina.
So good right now, finally.
Dashes. So usually your character is capped to one air dash, right? He has infinite during his flight. And all of these things have just culminated into റᴛ being like a pretty disgusting hero that feels like, even if you are playing a hero that like in theory counters റᴛ, it doesn't really feel like you counter റᴛ. Like I play Lash, right, which in theory should be like a bad matchup for റᴛ. It's a high mobility hero that like gets on top of the you know, the sniper type heroes, but it just feels like റᴛ just kills you anyway. Like he does not care, and he does not feel easy to kill at all. Like when I play റᴛ, it's pretty common that I'll have like very, very low deaths, because it feels like with the amount of mobility that he has and the fact that he has 4 stamina, you know, something's not adding up. So basically, they need to like figure out the character archetype, because having like a super survivable sniper type hero is just like, you know, it's just not like when you compare റᴛ and Vindicta. Like Vindicta has 2 stamina and does way less damage than റᴛ. And it just doesn't make any sense to me, right? I mean, you can say Vindicta's a bit more supporty, and sure, I completely get that. But even then, I feel like Great Talon's support levels with like his trap, his AoE curse are still really good. So I don't know. There's a lot of problems with the heroes, and I do think that he's one of those heroes that they've just like, okay, this is like a really old design, so let's just keep buffing him. And then they buff him, and then now it's just like he's just out of control, and definitely needs to be, definitely needs to be nerfed significantly.
Yeah, I think the Rain of Arrows just has so much stuff statted onto it at this point. It's kind of insane.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that this hero builds nothing but he goes 4.8k gun like almost first every game, and then he just starts transitioning into spirit damage and exclusively spirit damage because his gun his weapon damage scales off spirit, his movement speed scales off spirit, and all of his abilities have insane spirit scaling. But early on, his weapon damage is so good that with 2 points Rain of Arrows, which has no cooldown, mind you, like he just bops you.
5-second downtime.
Yeah, he just bops you constantly. And there's just like it feels so oppressive. And then even if he like is doing all this gun damage in the lane, he could still just charge shot you for like 150 out of nowhere. Like it feels like he has, like you said, almost no counterplay to it at the moment. The fact that he's so survivable with such high damage output and it's all from far range is very difficult to deal with. And it has
super difficult.
Yeah, it basically has eliminated heroes like Vindicta from even being able to exist in the game, because the second she goes into flight, he just instantly kills her. It's just a single charge shot and she dies.
The only hero that I think might have counterplay to Great Talon right now is Yamato, with 3 grapples. Like I think with the 3 grapples, Yamato can actually like get on top of Great Talon and like kill him. And even then, like that's, you know, it's a bit of a stretch, but like it can happen. And it's happened to me when I play Great Talon. And you know, the three grapples, like it doesn't matter even if you use like 6 stamina on Great Talon, like the 3 grapples will catch you. And she's probably the only hero that can actually do that, because I feel like Lash can't really catch him easily. I feel like, okay, Hayes can actually like potentially catch Great Talon as well, although she's not really that good right now. But like, you know, there's definitely a world in which, there's definitely a world in which like Hayes is like a pretty good matchup into Great Talon. And so with Great Talon being better, I can definitely see like, hey, you just go invis, you just sleep Great Talon, and then you just one shot him. He is still vulnerable to that, but he also has a pretty like decent health scaling. You know, is the funny thing about Great Talon is he's not a glass cannon. That's the thing, is like when you have a hero like Mina, like, okay, Mina is like super survivable with mobility, but she was at least a glass cannon. Like if you locked her down, she would die pretty quick. Like she wasn't like really like that tanky. She was like tanky through her mobility. But Great Talon legitimately has like really good health scaling. In fact, let me pull up the health scaling chart. But I believe that he's like middle of the pack. Like I don't really think he's particularly squishy. And for those of you that might not know what I'm talking about, basically every hero in the game has, you know, like health scaling, meaning like they gain X amount of health per boon. And the highest hero in the game for boons is Krill, and he gains 68. And the lowest hero in the game is Mina, and she gains 28. And right after Mina, guess who? It's Vindicta, you know, the other sniper archetype. And then way above them, you know, at 40 health per boon is Great Talon. Now, I'm just going to read off the heroes that are next to Great Talon, and you guys tell me if they should be similar in health. So there's Infernus, there's the Dwifta. 7 is 4 more health. No, 3 more health compared. Holiday is also 3 more health per boon. And mind you, Great Talon has more base health than both Drifter and 7, and Doorman, and Yamato, and Mirage, and Ivy, like the base health too. So these are all things that I think if they want Great Talon to be this like super powerful high damage dealer, they need to nerf his mobility and nerf his like survivability, in my opinion.
Yeah, we've talked over and over about how Rain of Arrows just felt like the literal worst ability in the game to cast, right? Like you would go into the area and then you're like,
it feels good, but
yeah, not exactly. Like now it's like at a point where like, oh, cool, like he feels mobile, but you just gave him like probably one of the best mobility spells in the game and then tacked it onto one of the highest damage output heroes in all of Deadlock, who has an execute, mind you. So like that's a big problem. Yeah, I think there needs to be like a little bit of a not necessarily a rework, but a rebalancing of the power of his different abilities. Because I don't know if
Well,
the
they just need to give him an identity. Like they just need to commit. You know what I mean? Like, do you want him to be like? Do you want him to be more of a like, hey, I'm gonna roam around, have a global ultimate with Bird that like can assist people everywhere on the map, or do you want him to be this like glass cannon damage dealer type? I mean, either one would be fine, but you just gotta commit a little bit more. And right now, the disparity between Vindicta and 괓ᴛ seems awfully obvious because 괓ᴛ gets all of these offensive options, and Vindicta essentially just gets worse versions of all of them. Like Vindicta Snipe is literally just a worse version of 괓ᴛ Q. Yeah. Literally, the arrow is just stronger than the snipe, especially when you get later in the game. Like 괓ᴛ arrows can easily be doing 800 plus damage without Tank Buster, mind you. Like with Tank Buster, you easily, if you do Tank Buster Mystic Shot, 괓ᴛ literally does 1500 damage in one shot, and then you add Spirit Burn on top of that. Like 괓ᴛ can easily do 2k in 1 second late game, unless you have like Spellbreaker, which is like the primary counter. But the problem is Mystic Shot also pops Spellbreaker, so you can just Mystic Shot you and then just kill you anyway.
Yeah, I've seen people try to get on like tanks like Silver and Yamato and these types of heroes try to get on top of 괓ᴛ to kill him, and he just melee range double charge shots and they die like 100 to 0. Like just 2 charge shots straight to the face, and if that's not enough, he just instantly opens the bird and the bird executes whoever is next to him, right? So it's he's far too mobile and tanky for the amount of damage he's outputting right now. I think that's pretty well agreed upon. And then his gun still does a ton of damage because it scales off Spirit. Like that's the other thing. He has direct weapon scaling off of Spirit, and he has movement speed scaling off of Spirit, which they removed in the past, from other heroes. But 괓ᴛ still has it.
Sinclair still has it as well.
Yeah, Sinclair does. Yeah. Sinclair. It's just Sinclair and GT now, right?
Because I think it's just Sinclair and GT. Yeah.
So yeah, Wraith still has sprint speed, right? Or did they remove that one?
Yeah, I think she does. No, I think she does still have sprint speed. But although, like, the thing is, like, the movement speed stacking overall is, like, got a lot worse, too.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't really feel it as much, right? You don't have 괓ᴛs moving, like, at the speed of light anymore.
She doesn't anymore.
Like, once you get to a certain
feels so much
speed, it
slower.
becomes almost, like, impossible to go, like, beyond.
Maybe
like,
she does.
Once you get to, like, 13, like, meters per second
so.
or, like, 14, it becomes, like, nearly impossible to scale further than that. So, yeah.
I mean, it's just another
That's kind of like
freebie, right, in terms of survivability. Like, for him being able to, like, have enough movement speed to just get around, compared to other heroes, without having to invest in it is another thing that they could look at in terms of like nerfing him in a way.
I think a lot of these things have just become like, like you can complain about almost everything about 괓ᴛ. The reality is, like, if like he gets some counterplay, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
The problem right now is just the counterplay is either non-existent or extremely difficult, and that's really the primary thing they need to address with the hero. So, hey, decide what. If I had to give advice to Valve, I would say decide the direction you want to take with 괓ᴛ. Do you want 괓ᴛ to be more of a glass cannon? Do you want 괓ᴛ to be more of a like, hey, I've got this global ability, and if you want him to have some options, that's okay. But you have to decide, like, primarily, like, okay, should this guy be able to be hard to kill or not? And based on whether he should be hard to kill or not, you should balance his damage. And, I would give them the same advice for Silver, because Silver is impossible to kill and also one-shots you. So, tanks one-shotting you, or heroes that are impossible to kill one-shotting you, is an issue that Deadlock has had many, many times. And not just Deadlock, but I would say it's a common MOBA issue, right? Where, even in like Dota, you've had metas where like Pudge carry has been meta, because it's just like, well, you've got this unkillable ball of doom just running at you. And we've seen like a bunch of like weird, like meta like carries. I feel like we've even seen like Axe carry in like some metas. Like
there was Axe carry with Manta style when it used to be able to
Helix. It's like when I got into the game.
We have Doom carry. Yeah, there's all sorts of time frames where like heroes that were not seen to be the carries somehow found their way into that position. So yeah, it's
not a new issue, but it needs to be addressed either, right? Like it's a common issue, which means, but every time that there is that issue, I think everybody agrees in every MOBA that it's just unfun to have a hero that just feels really, really difficult to kill, that also just outputs a ton of damage. You want heroes that, like, in my opinion, Wraith is like a good example where it's like, okay, Wraith outputs like a million damage. Like literally, if you go full
It's so
build on
squishy.
Wraith, like in your late game, you've got 35, 40k souls, max boons. You've got your Ricochet, Mercurial Magnum, like all of those items. Like you melt people. Like you do an insane amount of damage. And I don't want to hear any Wraith apologists in the chat say, "Oh, she doesn't do that much damage." She does an absurd amount of damage.
Of course.
Like,
It's not
it's
unreal.
You just gotta wait.
You can actually kill her, right? Like she is not tanky.
Yes.
Right? It's very hard for Wraith to become tanky. She has to be like so far ahead of you and build quite a lot of green items to actually be tanky. Otherwise, if you've got like a team that has even a little bit of coordination, you can absolutely jump her ass and kill her.
Yeah.
But
You're squishy all
say the same
game.
about Silver or Grey Talon, and I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've been like, I mean, I'm going on a Silver tangent, but I'm like, oh, Silver is completely caught out of position. Let's go kill her. And then we go on her, and she gets like, 200 HP. She pops her ultimate, and then she just turns it and one-shots someone.
Yep.
And then her team comes, and I'm like, okay, all right, my mistake. I'll never go on Silver again.
Yeah. And you look at her and she has
it just feels bad.
Berserker and Hunter's Aura as her only damage items, but then has like
Yeah,
8
she's
greens
like-
and kills you still.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's-
I think Great Talon suffers from the similar issue right now.
Yeah, he does. Very tanky without any real investment outside of superior stamina and like maybe a shielding of some kind.
Yeah, you can go superior stamina shielding or superior stamina enchanters, and like
Yeah.
and then you can go like counterspell if you really want to as well.
Yeah.
And counter, and like at that point you're pretty much like extremely difficult. And like late game he can just go with Ethereal Shift too, which also benefits him.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Classic.
defensive options that are available to him that are easy to obtain, like just benefit from his kit a lot, and just like even without any of those green items, he still feels incredibly hard to kill. And his arrows have like 0 fall off, which means if he just hits 1 arrow on you across the map in a fight, you're basically half HP.
Yeah. Yep, I was watching a couple games of it yesterday, and yeah, you would just see GT hit a single charge shot, and I watched the Doorman's health go from 100% to about 15% instantly. Almost one-shot him off the reverb and spirit burn. So cool stuff.
I believe it.
Well,
Thank you, GT.
thank you. Exactly. Thank you, GT. I think that's pretty good for the GT discussion. I mean, people, I'm sure, are experiencing this firsthand in their pubs, and can appreciate that they're not alone. But the item that we want to talk about today is going to be Scourge, an item that has been kind of buffed quite a bit, in my opinion. And kind of
kept fucking getting hit with this recently too.
But, I think it's in a really healthy spot, maybe slightly too healthy, because this item is pretty damn good at I would say in mid to late game. This item cranks. So do you want to explain Scourge to people, like just kind of go over the item, what it provides, and the active?
Sure. Yeah, so basically Scourge is an item that you can put either on yourself or on teammates, so it's an active item. And what it gives you, I don't have Deadlock open right now, so somebody can correct me, but off of my mind, it gives you 14% debuff resist, and I forget if it gives you another stat. Yeah, it gives you
100 health.
17% debuff resist. Sorry, they actually buffed the debuff resist. I think it used to be 14, but now it's 17%, and it gives you 100 health. And then it's got the active, and the active essentially gives the person that you put
you need to hit search.
you put Scourge on, it gives them 40% spirit resistance, as well as doing
3.5%
max health damage to the target. Okay, a lot of people think that it's the max health damage based on the caster or based on the person that it's cast on, but it's based on the target's HP. So, meaning like, whoever is getting hurt by it, it's using their max HP, and it's
Okay, I need this time. Sounds like what I'm looking for. Yep. Nice. Hold up. I was about to. I thought that was me who paused. I haven't played Talon forever. Should I swap lanes with someone, or am I probably good here? Oh wait, I'm against Vindicted. Never mind, I got this. Yeah. Honestly, just listening to Deathy in the bear pit talking about how powerful Great Talon is lately, and I was like, yeah, I'll try him out.
Smother, and you will have your revenge.
Apparently, my arrows are going to do like 2k damage later, so that's just stupid.
I see Mina.
Okay.
Hello.
Going to shop.
Oh god, she missed so many shots. I'd be so pissed if I was her right now.
I see them.
Woo! 8 HP. Holy shit.
You're mine.
Don't mind the blood on that. It's gently used.
You're in my sights. Goodbye.
Thank you.
So hard to steal souls with this fucking guy.
Knox got himself killed. Find higher ground.
We live in interesting times, don't we?
High velocity rounds. There we go. Oh, that makes such a difference.
If they come, I'll be ready. You're going to die.
Oh, she dies here. Nice. Good shit.
Taking aim. I have eyes on them.
Shit.
This is the perfect spot. My arrow will strike true. Contact.
I'm sorry, wait.
Charging.
Little bit of advice. Don't get caught. Mouse got himself killed.
The hunter strikes.
The wolf preys on our enemies.
Arrow stopped. Time for evasive tactics. Taking a shot.
Have fun. Don't get dead.
Hey, I'm gonna leave you the sideline. I'm gonna go help out the others.
There you are.
If I stay on the ground, I'm dead. Engaging.
There you are.
Target. They can't run.
God damn.
Preys on
I don't know. Vindicta's feeling pretty strong against me. Maybe it's just because I have a fucking shitty Lash with me and she's a fucking support with her.
Lash got himself killed. Goodbye. I see.
our yellow guardian has been destroyed.
I can.
Our yellow wolf is under attack.
Bro.
Defend green.
I'm coming out.
This viscous is actually pretty fucking decent, and it's really fucking annoying. So much for having fun on Great Talon. I had to play against a fucking 1,000-hour viscous on my first Talon game. This is bullshit. Yeah, we're missing viscous, obviously. Thank you. Fuck that guy.
The wolf preys on our enemies.
Good job, Wade. You pushed back.
The hunt is about to get more interesting.
I see, Shiv.
Want me to leave you to sideline yet, or are they just grabbing too much?
Oh my god. Thought he'd lose sight of me by now.
There's 3 blue. They look like they were moving towards you.
Are you fucking... How? Bro.
Back off. Just back off.
How is this shit so strong already? It's not even. Really. Jesus Christ, I'm just overestimating how powerful he is based on everything they said. What the fuck?
I'll just stay there and protect it.
Get this.
Victor, I don't need you to come and take the farm. I'm already so underfarmed. They're already all dead.
Taking the shot.
Oh my god. I thought I was gonna get stuck in the doorway there.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Leading the target.
Almost killed 7. He low.
Contact.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's 4 of them in that one tunnel.
Taking aim.
Bro, almost got ult.
I can get something with quality.
Yo, GT, old blue, bro.
Okay,
7's one shot, bro.
It will not save them.
yeah, I'm just dead. Yeah.
I'm trying to make it to you, I got you. Did she TP with you?
Yep, and she found me. Oh my god.
I'll stack as many bodies as it takes to win.
Our green
Fuck yes.
Kill her.
Yeah, this Vindicta and this Viscous were actually pretty fucking decent. I'm really annoyed that this is my first talent match. Holy fuck.
Our yellow walker is under attack.
I got sold this idea that the talent is like over fucking tuned right now. And I guess he is, but
Guardian has been defeated.
not in my hands.
Gun Talon's really insane right now, yeah.
Sending arrow.
Jesus.
They can't run forever. On the move.
Bro, I want Mina dead so bad.
Engaging.
Mina's on top, Mina's on top, Mina's on top.
I don't have to be the fastest.
I see Vindicta.
Clever.
Our yellow walker is under attack.
Billy 2, Billy 2.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, this biscuit's gonna they can fuck themselves.
Under attack. Our yellow walker has been defeated.
I see Vindicta.
Come back. I just wanted to catch green for a sec.
Ah, you have discerning taste.
Vindicta in our jungle. Come and Lash.
Repositioning.
There you are.
I see Vindicta.
For your pitiful lives.
I see.
Oh my god.
I'm coming.
There.
God damn it, I wish it just given me fucking Wraith. Holy shit. Didn't think my very first time selecting Talon on least priority would give me Talon right away.
A boon from your patron.
I'd be able to warm up a little bit. But hey, there's no haze in this game.
You want to buy a mug to go with your gun?
Headed to blue.
Our blue walker is under attack.
Aiming. Just because I don't see them doesn't mean they aren't here.
Protect the urn runner.
What do I know?
This is almost ready.
Yeah, we're matching them in AP and souls. We should be able to fight this as long as we're all here.
Alright, got it. Go.
I'm coming.
Target's marked. Calls to me. Evading targets. Let's see who's still standing.
Play with me.
Mina just killed me, bro.
Nice, we got it.
Mina's on the side. Mina's on the side. Ult. Mina ult solo ulted me.
7.
Our blue walker is under attack.
Vindicta's up alone by herself. No escape. She's trying to greed.
Yes. I'm going blue. To defend us in the
Okay, okay.
Do a kind of push.
I'm going to kill you.
This gets over under half. They're both like 40%. But I don't think we push this.
I'm going green.
Yeah, we got to split and farm again.
You got expensive taste. I love it.
Hello.
Comes in many forms.
Pull back.
Better
that low that whole time? Did I not realize how low my health was the whole time? Holy shit. Well, at least I'm just like...
There's like 3 on green.
Not playing too carefully and just having fun. Trying to just enjoy this new hero. Well, new for me. I really don't think I've ever played a single game Stellan. Maybe this is my second game, but I don't think so.
I'm coming back green.
I want this yellow guardian if I can. Nope, they're here.
A fire from above. The hunter strikes. I see you.
Yo, help on green? I'm just getting, you know, 1v5'd. I thought my whole team was here.
Oh my god. I am so over being sniped to death by this bitch. Jesus Christ, man.
Headed to Broadway. I have eyes on them.
They're chasing me instead of defending their lane. I can tell because they're not in their lane right now. Defending it was Mina. You don't have enough kills right now? Can't. Jesus Christ. I hope this team loses. For the amount of kills they have right now, I hope they lose. Because they're not up at all. They're not taking advantage of their kills at all. They're not pushing lanes when they should be. They're just wasting so much time hunting me, and it's going to lose them the game.
I see, Viscus.
Headed to green.
I'm going to keep trying to make myself a bit of a target over here.
You got like 3 or 4 rotating green. Can we group up to help Drifter?
Our blue
Joe, one sec, hold on, go first.
I see you.
Wraith, can you group up? Like, are we not gonna group up and help our teammates? Like, what's going on, guys? You guys are fed as fuck over them, bro.
Yeah, I'm 19k. I'm waiting for the Wraith to join more of this shit.
I'm talking about the 2 people that are at 30k. You know, 6, 7k over the rest of the enemy team. I'm getting grouped on.
I see you. Trap is set.
And Vindicta's on me again. It's over for me again. She just sees me and just fucking chases me so hard because she knows I have no fucking chance. I have not gotten any assistance over here for so fucking long either. Jesus Christ. Do we not want Yellow Guardian? Are we not item locked, guys? Like Wraith? What is going on? Why have you not come for this Vindicta once? You let her caught up to you in souls. You were like 5-6k ahead of her. You're just not coming for her.
Headed this way. Tanks.
But damn, I wish I was playing Wraith. I'd be fucking hunting this Vindicta down right now. Like, she's losing her power against Wraith right now at this point, and she's still, this Wraith will not go for her.
I'm about to pull Vindicta to the ground. Can we like group up?
I got it.
If her Viscous is meat riding her, bro, we ain't gonna be able to kill her. So we gotta cause some mayhem.
There's no man or beast I can't bring.
Oh, there's somebody on this. It's Vindicta.
It's time to go back to the curiosity shop.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to see.
Let's fucking go. Trying to take green.
Sending arrow.
Just let myself do that because I was trying to slide for ammo.
Preys on our enemies.
Got it.
They won't find me to be easy prey.
I'm getting fucking slammed. You got that, Wraith.
Nice, shrine down, huge.
See, someone appreciates fine craftsmanship.
Oh fuck.
Wraith, you're the only one up there, bro. It's gonna be 1v2. Any fight you fight right now.
Back out. I don't think we get that second shrine.
My bad, I could hit my one there to survive.
They're in my sights.
They're all chasing Wraith. If we can go help, no, that's unsavable.
Dude, that was almost crazy, bro. They're gonna do mid. We need to group up on mid. Gunner mid. Yo, get rid of the owl that shit. Get rid of the bird that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And away we go.
Leave the prey to me.
Oops. I'm not good with the bird.
Let's see who's still standing.
GT, why are we running arm, bro?
I was trying to pull them off mid because I knew they were down there. So before they even started it, I grabbed it.
That was low-key troll, bro.
Just absolutely. Everyone else is dead. What else? I'm nothing else I can do.
Walker is under attack.
Even if I had.
Bro, they double ulted Reju. If you were down there, you could have helped them, bro. That's why the comms were had. Like, we calmed through the group and helped your team. You got Earn and then fed.
And then I dropped Earn and tried to owl, and I said I'm bad with my owl because my owl fucked up. I don't know if you heard me say I'm bad with my owl because I did try to owl.
Like, near the entrance or closer down there, like you.
Yes, I was right. I was right near the entrance, and I hit the side of it. I fucked up.
See, but you could have been down there already if you wouldn't have got Earn.
Oh, I didn't think you wanted me down there because I would have just been melted instantly if I had gone anywhere near there.
You have to be in there to be right at the fucking veil of the door, bro.
I was right near the door. It fucked up. I'm not used to the owl. I don't know how it flies.
You were up top at the top of the tunnel.
Literally, that's the second time I've ever used owl. I don't know how it flies. It flew into the wall. Holy fuck. Listen to what I'm saying. This is the first time I've ever played this hero. Literally the the second or third owl I've ever used. It hit the wall. Okay, you're fucking retarded. You're actually fucking retarded. You're just not listening to what I'm saying. I fucked up on the owl. I literally said I fucked up on the owl. I tried to do it. The timing was there and everything. I just fucked up on the owl. I don't know how it works yet. The flight pathing is fucked. Not fucked. I just mean I don't know it yet. See, Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
We need to disarm their sniper. The mother extends her hand to you.
Oh my god. Can't believe I escaped that.
You'll be the last one standing.
Seven's missing. Need to use these buildings to my advantage. Leading the target.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I see Shiv.
If I stay on the ground, I'm dead.
Pull back.
The DPC on Drifter.
Take this gift.
Need to find higher ground.
Ready to open fire.
You shouldn't push me.
Goodbye. You're dead. Goodbye. Took out the drifter. Let's see who's still standing. I'll find them.
Jesus Christ. And I'm dead. Oh my god, I hate this guy so much. This is so not fun. I wish I had at least been able to warm up a little bit first or something. This is so fucking shitty. The fucking shitty first game. 11 does.
Our green wolf.
And the person who I had to lane against is their fucking carry.
Hold it.
Leading the target. They can't run forever.
Mid-boss has arrived.
Pull back.
Jesus.
Pull back. Headed this way. Pull back. Tanks.
Our green walker is under attack.
Arrows locked. Targets marked.
Lifted.
Let's see who's still standing.
Alright, I'm done playing with you.
I see you. Engage him.
For your pitiful lives.
Walker has been destroyed.
You're dead. Reposition. You're dead.
Fought off the course. But they will return. Time to let out the beast. You need to make a
Let's see who's still standing. Could be anywhere. Shocking yellow. They're in my sights.
I see Vindicta.
A courier has arrived.
Be vigilant. Shiv seeks another trophy.
It's over.
Taking aim. Sending arrow. Fire. Taking a shot.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Charging. Aiming. I see them.
You fought off the cost of the Hidden King, but they will return.
Calls to me.
Rejuvenator has expired.
They won't get the drop on me. Do not miss.
For your pitiful lives. It's to perfection.
What am I supposed to do when she's 20k ahead of me and so like nothing? I'm supposed to just die.
But they will return.
This entire game, the Drifter's death count has been like 3 ahead of mine. I don't know what you're talking about. I've like nothing we could have done here.
For your pitiful lives.
Let's see who's still standing.
Because I went high damage, there's a chance we start to come back here, actually. I just got my spear burn. It's actually hitting. Fuck, there's 7 ult though. GG.
Well, that was memorable.
His pain.
Woo, good times.
They wiped and still got it.
Death comes for everyone eventually. I'm just
Telling someone to swap to support because they have low damage on their when they said like 30 times this match that's their first time playing the hero is a fucking cunt thing to say. Fuck you, kill yourself. You play the easiest tank to play in this entire game.
The ritual has to wait.
God, I look good today.
I don't want Mina.
I'm sure there's someone out there dumb as either. I'm not
Who am I actually willing to play? I'm willing to try that again. I think I just got really unlucky that match. My first talent match. That was fucking brutal. Definitely should have swapped lanes. The Vindicta was fucking so annoying. Actually, the Viscous was what made it real bad though. Like if she didn't have his support, I don't think that would have gone so well as well for her. And like the Lash was so bad, he was literally feeding them. Like he had multiple deaths before I had my first death, and they're blaming me for dying. Like, and so did Drifter. Like, you guys had fed characters on the map already that started fucking with me. Yeah, it's my fault. Gotcha. Just because I'm vocally admitting that I'm bad, and these guys aren't, so you're gonna point the blame at me. So used to that in life. Being honest about your mistakes is such a fucking bad thing to do. You'd think that being honest about your mistakes would be good if we lived in a benevolent society, but we don't. So being honest about your mistakes means people will just use it against you.
Wealth, power, and so much more await.
Okay, thank fuck. I have to do that again. You want to swap Flash?
No. I just looked at your lane.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not doing that.
Yeah, we're good.
Once you complete the ritual.
I should go shopping.
You bitch. Oh my, are you fucking kidding me? Stole one and then like they had to get me back, so they stole 3.
We'll mow them down.
Minions are gonna finish this one, I think. No, they didn't.
Going to shop.
Good luck.
Fuck, didn't wait long enough. Are you fucking kidding me? I was a joker.
Now you see me.
Little bit of advice. Don't get caught.
What was that? Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go.
This is gonna be fun.
My friend, survival is paramount.
Going to shop.
Take him down. I don't miss.
Fuck me.
I'm going back.
There's nowhere to hide. Repositioning.
Stay strong, buddy.
About to get
Headed to York.
Let's go.
Let the king strengthen you.
Nina's missing.
I see the vampire.
I'm trying to steal their sinners before they get back. Never mind, she's it.
Upstairs.
She's still there finishing it.
time to let out the beast.
Let's go.
I got more with that thing.
Silver's missing. I lied.
Mina's missing. I see Venator.
They destroyed the Guardian on green.
Dealing.
green.
I'm not getting caught.
Are you fucking kidding me?
There has to be something at the shop I can use.
Are you fucking...
Gotta move.
What the fuck just happened?
Mina needs to be humbled.
I see paradox.
Like a card trick.
I see priest.
Enemies questioning.
I see priest.
Such arcane mystery.
Headed to York.
Pull back!
Probably. And away we go.
I see Ivy.
I see the vampire.
Greenwich is under attack.
The Ivy.
Bullet dance is on cooldown.
Headed to blue.
A blue walker is under attack.
Defense green. Time for the lash attack.
Greenwich is under attack. They've taken our yellow guardian. Our yellow walker is under attack.
We keep fighting as a team, we'll win. No,
They will grow to fear the fencer's blade.
we're winning this. Guards out.
Nice, that's huge.
Protect the urn runner.
Help me deliver this thing.
Coming. Scabbing Surge on the way. 1 second.
Yeah, I don't think we take this, bro.
Almost ready to grab them.
Pick it back up, pick it back up, pick it back up. We got this. We're all here now. We're all here now. Earn fight. Let's go.
Headed to yellow.
Yellow's got... Haze has got yellow. We got this, we got this. Just come here after you shove the lane, Hayes. As soon as you can. Got fucking silver before she could ult. Let's go.
Not your day, friend.
Great.
Let's go. Good fight. Minions have got the lanes for a sec. That was perfect.
Headed to yellow.
Headed to yellow.
Someone's using their noodle.
Is under attack.
Leave that to me.
Stay safe out there.
Such finesse.
I see Ivy.
I see Billy. I see Billy.
We're winning this.
I see Billy.
Such blessings the king shall get.
Time to move.
I'm just a spirit.
I'll tear
The spirit urn is
Let's take out the Venison.
Headed to yellow.
Oh my god. My depth perception on that fucking ledge.
I see paradox.
I make my own opportunities.
They're in mid. I see Billy.
Our yellow walker is under attack.
Let's push blue.
That's the plan, boys.
I don't have a lot of time, but it'll be enough. Death comes in many forms. These I've saved up.
Thanks for the pickup. Well, this day got a lot more exciting. I don't suppose you know what line you set for next week's game.
Ivy's on. Mina's on the bridge.
Stay where you are. Find them.
I'll slam them down. You guys take them out.
Good job.
You give up whenever you want.
Winning's my business.
There's a finisher behind us in green and yellow here. Yeah.
The Blue Walker is under attack.
Got crushing fist or something? What the fuck's going on? Oh no, just melee charge and life strike. Okay.
Watching Lash torment the guy.
Headed to yellow.
Never gets old.
His own personal Venator melee build? Why? Billy's going green. Someone in spawn can get that. Krill. Yeah, thanks. Oh, I think he's got. He's probably getting the centers right now to your left. He did it a minute ago too. No, he's not. Where is he?
Billy's missing.
Take that centers.
The fencer's blade.
Billy's over by Lash now. Billy's right next to Lash.
Not today.
We don't need to fight this. We're not fighting over anything. Get out of here. There's nothing happening right now. Why are we fighting this?
Pull back.
Yeah, there's no objective. There's no urn. Just run. Worthless fight.
Let's push York.
They're down for ults. You guys can win this. 5.
Let's push yellow.
One degenerate gambler to another. Good luck.
Maybe we just take Walker and defend blue. I don't know if we fight this one. They're all there.
This is gonna be fun.
Take our jungle and take the fucking Walker and we match this urn. Doesn't matter.
There's nowhere to hide. Death comes in many forms. I love this trick. Gotta move.
I see paradox.
Gotta take all our sinners, guys.
I love this trick.
Oops.
A green walker is under attack.
Defend Creed.
They've destroyed our green walker.
Yo, I thought we're farming our jungle, bro. Where is everybody?
I was on left jungle, sorry, and catching blue. Apollo was also in left jungle. Good trades.
They can't hide forever. Try to catch me.
Furnace, are you lagging?
Seems like he's lagging a bit.
I see Mina.
I see the enemy. I see the enemy.
The Hidden King's power.
And up they go.
Let's see who still stand.
Counts.
One degenerate gamer to another. Good luck.
I see the enemy.
I see Billy.
I see the enemy.
I see Mina.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
You're mine. I'm mine for your pitiful lives.
Let's see who still stand.
They took out our mole. Find them.
All right, I'm done playing with you.
We keep fighting as a team?
Mid. 31-minute game and no mid yet. It's time.
Headed to Greenwich.
The rejuvenator is descending.
The rejuve is ours. Time to move.
Spirit turn is here.
Protect the urn runner.
Help me deliver this thing.
I see the vampire.
I'm out of here. No, I don't think so.
We delivered the
Oh no, Billy's pushing Broadway.
They've destroyed our blue walker.
Take all their sinners if we can.
This is my chance.
Black.
I'm not getting caught.
Push green up. Let's keep this push going.
Locking him down.
I got this.
Repositioning.
Just gotta let 42 kick him for a second. Buying leech.
I don't suppose you know what line you're setting for next week's game.
Nice work. Oh, you're all about to enter Lash's world.
You should run.
Let's see who's still standing.
I'm all alone out here.
waiting to be claimed.
Taste. I love it.
The urn has been dropped.
I don't suppose you know what I just said for next week's game.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Please be more careful with me.
Mid boss is up in 15 seconds.
Mid boss has arrived.
Lift it!
Take care of them, Rhodes.
Let's see who's still standing.
We need to keep this up. Dealing. There's nowhere to hide.
Mid. Again.
Just the beginning.
Catching me.
I'll clear blue and yellow.
Sounds good.
Light 'em up.
I can almost solo mid, just someone to come with me, just in case Ivy shows up and she's a cunt to me for some reason. Even though I'm 20k ahead of her, should be fine.
I'll be popular. She's
The rejuvenator is
Oh, and our minions are taking care of the shines for us. Amazing.
We have the rejuvenator.
Bridge buffs.
I'm not getting caught.
Wait, Fern, were you shooting at that reju for a while before you finally realized you had to melee it?
The enemy could be here any
Furnace. Is that what I just saw?
never let them know you're next to me.
I don't suppose you know what I just said for next week's game.
I'm out of here. Locking him down. They're down.
We just finish.
Great job.
I'll remember this fight.
I won't forget that anytime
Well
soon.
played.
Today's glory will not be
Yeah, their Vanisher was so bad. Jesus, 3-1. I just realized my stats. Like the KDA is actually sick. A lot of my kills getting stolen, but holy fuck, 1 death. I had to make up for my shitty fucking talent game before this. Ugh. I think we're good. Maybe a little more pillars, yes. God damn. Just a little bit of the real world first, though.
Attacks are again shaking the Middle East today. This comes after the United States claimed that Iran smashed a drone into an Apache attack helicopter, causing it to crash off the coast of Oman. Now, this morning, the U.S. military had launched strikes across southern Iran. Iranian state media announced that there had been blasts in Qasem Island near Bandar Abbas and other sites in the country near the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow mouth of the Persian Gulf that Iran has maintained a chokehold over for months now, disrupting global energy supplies. In retaliation, Iran has launched attacks targeting the island nation of Bahrain, as well as the small Mideast nation of Kuwait. Air defense systems were heard going off in both of those countries, and it's unclear what damage has been done. Meanwhile, Iran has also claimed an attack targeting Jordan. That kingdom near Israel had seen attacks targeting it in the Iran war. This would be the first since the April ceasefire took effect. And it also underlines both Jordan's continued hosting of American aircraft, as well as that kingdom's precarious position between Israel and Iran, as those two sides had been attacking each other earlier this week as well. All this put together again calls into question efforts to try to reach a more permanent ceasefire in the Iran war that started all the way back in February. Meanwhile, it just remains unclear if there will be more retaliation, more attacks in the Middle East, and all this is putting new pressure on those talks, which so far haven't had any major results.
Of course.
It was an unmanned boat like this that rescued two downed U.S. airmen off the coast of Oman. The water rescue by an American sea drone, a first, says the U.S. military. The airmen, uninjured after their Apache helicopter was shot down. U.S. President Donald Trump blamed the Iranians and vowed retaliation, posting, "The United States must, of necessity, respond to this attack." And that's precisely what they did. U.S. Central Command launching self-defense strikes late Tuesday in several parts of Iran, saying it was a proportional response to unjustified Iranian aggression. Iran's foreign minister then warned our powerful armed forces will leave no attack or threat unanswered. Leave our region if you want to be safe. It's yet another fissure in the increasingly fragile and fractious ceasefire. Barely a day since Israel and Iran backed off another military escalation after Trump intervened. Still, Tuesday morning, Israel renewed strikes on Lebanon, targeting, it said, Hezbollah, killing at least 8, according to Lebanese authorities. In an Israeli border town, there is frustration with what some see as Trump's interference. He can say whatever he wants, he says. If we need to carry out strikes, we'll carry out strikes anywhere in the world. But the U.S. president, still hoping for peace with Iran, hinted Monday, as he has dozens of times before, a deal was near.
The strait will open up right away. It'll open up immediately upon signing, which could be in 2 or 3 days.
But in Tehran, that is being met with a hefty dose of pessimism. I don't think it will happen anytime soon, he says. This state of neither war nor peace will continue. Though tonight it seems to be skewing less toward peace between these U.S. strikes, some reportedly hitting water reservoirs, and Iran's Revolutionary Guard saying it's launched its own missiles and drones towards American targets.
So, Katie, what do we know about how far the U.S. is maybe willing to go with this retaliation?
Right. So typically what you see in these situations, according to defense experts, is a sort of a tit for tat, a measured or muted counter-assault to show that these acts won't be tolerated and to show a backbone. Trump has been reluctant to resume a full-on war with Iran, but he did say if U.S. troops were killed, that would be his red line, and he would reconsider. Adrian?
All right. That is Katie Nicholson tonight in Washington.
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter.
Well, on to the other breaking story this evening. The U.S. military has launched new strikes against Iran. This comes after.
Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radrick, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
Well, on to the other breaking story this evening. The U.S. military has launched new strikes against Iran. This comes after a U.S. Army attack helicopter was downed off the coast of Oman. Journalist Mitch McKenna is in New York tracking developments, and he has the latest.
A little corpse stink is nothing.
Yeah, and good evening from New York. Well, the U.S. launched strikes on Iran shortly after 5 p.m. Eastern time this evening. And that news came from a social media post from U.S. Central Command a little earlier this evening. It read that CENTCOM forces began launching self-defense strikes against Iran at 5 p.m. Eastern time today at the Commander-in-Chief's direction in response to yesterday's downing of a U.S. Army Apache helicopter. It goes on to say that the mission is a proportional response to unjustified Iranian aggression. Now, Ian, while this is a serious escalation, it's not exactly out of nowhere, because President Donald Trump foreshadowed this a few hours ago by posting about this helicopter incident where he said the two pilots who were patrolling the Strait of Hormuz were fine, but he added that nevertheless the United States must, of necessity, respond to this attack, and that response is what we've seen in the last couple of hours. Now, it's also important to note here that Iran hasn't actually claimed responsibility for the strikes at this point. Iranian state media has been reported to say that no aerial military operations had been conducted near the Strait of Hormuz in the last day. We're also seeing reports this evening that there have been a number of explosions along the Persian coast in the last hour or so. So those strikes being felt along the Persian coast. Plenty of unanswered questions in terms of how long these strikes will go on for, but nonetheless a serious escalation.
Okay, and tell us more about what we're hearing from the United States.
Yeah, well, look, the United States is really, being forceful here, saying that this is going to, they want to have a proportionate response. Donald Trump has come close, he has said, to signing a deal a number of times, but it seems we are far away from that now. It's also important to consider how this war is going to be received, or this escalation is going to be received domestically here in the United States. This war, it goes without saying, has been very unpopular here. Polls constantly show that most Americans did not think starting this conflict was a good idea. In fact, there's a new poll from Reuters in the last couple of days saying that only 36% of Americans, Ian, approve of US strikes on Iran. People here have seen gas prices and general everyday costs rise in part because of this. So it's not just a war for many people somewhere far away. It's having real-life impacts on families inside this country. And as I've mentioned, President Trump has said many times that a deal was almost complete, only to end up here this evening.
Mitch McCann in New York City, thank you.
Fractious rhetoric and shape-shifting timelines have been a constant since the U.S. began its war in the Middle East, and it's getting in the way of the American president's plans.
We could have at least an idea by 1 or 2 days from now, but I think it's going well.
Only hours after that statement, a blow was dealt to Donald Trump's optimism. U.S. Central Command said an Army helicopter was down near the coast of Oman, injuring 2 pilots that were rescued by a naval drone. The Iranians shot down the Apache helicopter, Trump said on Tuesday online, adding the U.S. must, out of necessity, respond to this attack, running the risk that a tinderbox reignites.
We have struck Iranian
Look at this.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
I'm here.
Yeah, what does?
At once. I'm here.
You want to do this? ᴅ쏘ɪʟ. It could be. Are you thinking? I don't know what you would call them. It's not like I think for stuff like this. Wow. Nice. Can you there? Okay, this is really okay. This side. And he's sending process. I'm glad to hear that. Are you a groomer?
It's just that she's basically like a screen.
Oh, that thunder was crazy. Jesus.
Quietly now.
That I think for like low.
How do you do?
About catching.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know they added real time. I mean, turn-based combat to this. Holy shit!
Good day to you.
Oh, this is Callista's sister.
But did you do stuff? I can't even tell. One thing. It never right. Encouraging others. See, but I think what's happening. Community. Media. Uh, for 3 years. Man, just followed him. And that
Nice. This is a good ruling, damn.
I'd be glad to.
At the end of the day, yeah. And in order. Here's
Not sure how I feel about this.
and well met.
This one?